The Closing Bell, Bloomberg's comprehensive cross-platform coverage of the U.S. market close starts right now.
And right now, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romaine Bostick here with Scarlet Fu, taking you through to that closing bell with a global simulcast, and it starts right now. Tim Stenovec in the radio booth, Carol Massar joining him for the day. Welcome to our audiences across all of our Bloomberg platforms, including our partnership with YouTube. Fractional gains for the S&P and the NASDAQ, guys, today, but not much else going on around the markets.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm back for the week, by the way.
Whole week?
Yeah, the whole week.
We'll see what happens by Friday. I'll believe it when I see it.
I've completed my attestation.
Oh, aha. I like that.
I will be here for the week. I just think what an interesting day, right? For most of the day, we saw a pretty decent rally, and then we've just kind of run out of steam here, and I'm just curious what's bringing everybody down here at the close.
Okay, running
weird.
out of steam maybe tomorrow when we hear from some of the defense names like RTX or Northrop Grumman or Lockheed Martin, or maybe CocaCola might put a little zing in tomorrow's trade depending on what they say about that. I don't want to call it new Coke, guys.
Yeah.
Do they call it Mexican Coke?
It's old
Mexican
Coke?
Yeah, so they
Coke
do
isn't
have
Coke.
Mexican Coke here in
Yeah.
the U.S. already, but what are they going to say about sugar-free or adding real sugar back to Coke?
Yeah.
Well,
I've been waiting for that for like 4 days.
My husband loves this.
the cost of doing so mean higher prices for those Coke, the new Coke or the new old Coke. It's a big question.
But it raises the question, too. I mean, we talk about this idea of a lot of the pressure that has been put on these companies by policies coming out of Washington, and whether that's actually good for business to actually bend to that, or whether you're talking about Coca-Cola, whether you're talking about some of the home builders. And obviously, of course, with the chip stocks, we get Texas Instruments reporting after the bell on Tuesday. We should also point out we are waiting a couple of earnings tonight after the bell, including from Steel Dynamics as well as NXP Semiconductor. The Dow Jones Industrial Average looks like it's going to end the day roughly unchanged, about 18 to 19 points lower on the day, a drop of less than 0.1%. The S&P 500 closing at a record high, up about 0.1% on the day. The NASDAQ Composite closing at a record high, up about 0.4% on the day. And your laggards, that is in the small and mid-cap space, mid-caps down 0.6%. The Russell 2000 small caps down 0.4.
All right, just taking a look at the S&P 500, folks. It was kind of an even split, and then earlier in the session we had more names to the upside. But here at the close, 320 names in the S&P 500 losing ground, 182 to the upside, Scarlet, and 1 unchanged.
All right, let's take a look at the IMAP, which shows the 11 sectors of the S&P 500. Only 2 groups moved more than 1%. On the upside, it was communication services led by Verizon, gaining 1.9%. On the downside, energy stocks losing about 1% on the day as oil prices decline. Consumer discretionary and materials also finishing the day with modest gains.
All right, so a fair amount of green there. So let's get to some of the individual gainers. No surprise, I'm going to start with Verizon, ticker VZ. It is the #1 gainer in the S&P 500, up as much as 5.5% intraday, finishing with a gain of about 4%. This is after the company reported second quarter results that beat expectations. They raised their profit outlook, buoyed by wireless price increases and recent tax legislation. Lots of talk about Spectrum as well. And this is despite seeing a net loss of about 51,000 monthly consumer wireless subscribers. Our team here at Bloomberg doing an interview with the CEO, so check it out at Bloomberg.com. But nonetheless, definitely an outperformer. Got to talk about Block, ticker XYZ. This one up as much as 9% intraday, hitting the highest intraday since mid-February. Jack Dorsey's fintech firm set to join the S&P 500. Stock finishing with a gain of more than 7%. Those changes going into the S&P will happen prior to the start of trading on July 23rd. So in just a couple of days here. Evercore ISI, they came out saying they expect increased interest in the name. No surprise, right? Those who do index funds will have to tap into this name, but they also said it will translate into incremental passive and active asset management's tracking it. So you're going to be seeing a lot more interest in it. And just one more, Open Door. I know you guys, I'm assuming, talked about it last week. Up as much as 120% today, finishing the day with a gain of about 42%. That was after quite a surge last week. The hedge fund manager, you guys, I'm sure, talked about it. Their social media endorsement making it the latest stock to experience what you could call as a speculative retail-driven rally.
So we're back, I guess.
More than 20%, though, of the float is shorted. So, yeah, it's a little crazy.
Okay, that's on the crazy
$3
side
stock.
of It's down still like 95% from those highs back in 2021 or something.
I know. So perspective on that.
Yeah, I mean, triple-digit gains are always something. Hey, on the decliners side, the worst performer in the S&P 500, EQT Corporation, an energy firm. Gas producers and energy-related shares tracked U.S. natural gas futures lower today. We did see that futures were down by the most in more than 3 weeks. Weather forecasts, interestingly enough, for late July shifted a bit cooler. Production continued running high. So we did see these stocks under pressure today. EQT Corp, again, the worst performer on a percentage basis in the S&P 500, down 9.5% today. How about a little Domino's? The company reported results before the bell today, and shares were initially higher. They were up as much as 6.5% earlier in the session, but it did reverse gains. The company reported comp sales growth in the second quarter that topped Wall Street estimates. It turns out the Parmesan stuffed crust pizza attracted new customers. It boosted same-store sales, according to company executives on the call. Have you had this?
I'm sorry, is the Parmesan on top of the crust, or is it inside?
It's inside the crust. I thought, when I heard about this, I thought that Pizza Hut was the first company, like, 3 decades ago to do stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah, Pizza Hut is the OG. But
okay, right? Didn't they have those ads when we were kids that you like eat the pizza backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm a New York snob. I don't eat Pizza Hut or Domino's.
You're here.
Oh my gosh.
Love you, Scarlett.
You're listening to you too.
I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I agree, but there are a lot of people who don't live in New York, guys,
Right.
who
You
eat
guys
a lot
just
of this
stand
pizza.
on the street corner, fold that
Artisanal
greasy
pizza,
slice
right?
over, and
That's
step over the
Wow.
rats and eat your.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'll do that every day and twice on Sunday.
All right, that's Scarlet Fu, ladies and gentlemen. Domino's down 0.8%, reversing those earlier gains. Shares of
What's Little
Lululemon
Caesars doing?
falling today by 2.9%. Watching shares, they've been under pressure this year, down 42% so far this year. Kim Bassine, who covers the space, had a great article out last week that everybody should check out. It's about this analyst at Jefferies who's logging the core black leggings, their vital products that are rarely discounted. He says they're piling up at outlet stores.
Ooh.
It's an alarming issue for Lululemon. It shows that erosion in core demand for the brand's clothes is facing a lot of competition from these smaller upstarts that I guess everybody's wearing now.
That's a big change for them.
The
Big
basic
change.
black leggings are on sale, and there's too many of them.
That's what Kim Bassine is reporting via
Well,
Jefferies.
it's just so much competition now,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you remember years ago, I mean, Lululemon was untouchable, primarily because if you wanted that aesthetic and that quality, that was pretty much the only place to get it. And now, everyone's in the game right now.
They're not all the same, though. Got to tell you.
I agree.
Right?
What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
Yeah.
You like aloe? What do you
I
like?
do have aloe, but I do aloe. But I love my Lululemon. They last forever. I have stuff that's like 10, 15.
I agree.
Right?
So, yep.
Yeah. Just saying.
Whatever happened to aloe
Not
black?
transparent, by the way.
Yeah. Let's take a quick look at yields
thing.
here. We did see, of course, big movements in the yield space on the day, mostly to the downside. Nevertheless, the steepening of that curve continues. And there's been a lot of talk about the moves that we saw today, the idea of whether that might actually be a little bit of a haven bid, the idea that people are bidding back into treasuries, particularly with that April 1st deadline coming up next week for tariffs. And of course, that's the same week as a Fed meeting. So the idea between that, the Fed meeting, and of course, earnings, whether there is a need to maybe protect yourself for potential downside risk.
All right, folks, we have a little bit of a theme here and some stories that caught our attention. It has to do with food and beverages. We're going to start with the food side of that. And the heiress, the billionaire owner of InNOut Burger, Lindsay Snyder, apparently, first of all, InNOut, so iconic when it comes to California, right? That's where they are.
SoCal too, yep.
Right? Exactly. Well, apparently she's moving with her family to Tennessee, citing that raising a family is not easy and doing business is not easy in California.
The company started construction on a 100,000 square foot office building in Franklin. It's just outside of Nashville. It's expected to complete the construction next year. It'll open its first restaurant in the States then as well. No news yet on whether or not we'll see any In-N-Out burgers here in California. So I guess, Scarlett, you're stuck with Domino's and Pizza Hut.
I'm not a big fan of In-N-Out burgers, but I was looking at the tax rate, and
You cannot please Scarlett.
I know. I don't think they're as tasty as they could be. California's corporate tax rate 8.84%. Tennessee's corporate tax rate a flat 6.5%. So
Are you a fan?
But they're not moving the company, though.
they're
So I mean, this is just her personal thing that she gave on this evangelical podcast. But they're keeping the company based in California.
Well, there's no income tax in Tennessee, so there you go, state income.
But they are going to open up some In-N-Outs in Tennessee too, and they're not planning to go across the country or anything. But
so eventually they might creep their way towards New York. We'll wait to see if that happens. It's mid-July, late
But are
July.
you going to eat it? I mean, you're a pizza snob. You're probably a New York burger snob.
I am a
too,
burger
right?
snob.
Do you have burgers in New York?
We
You know
have
who used to
burgers
do a
in New
great
York.
burger at PJ Clark's, and they would do it with Bernays.
You know what has great burgers?
Bernays.
Burger Joint.
What are we
Have you guys
talking
ever had
about?
Burger Joint?
Bernays?
Bernays on a burger? You haven't lived until you try
Fancy
that.
hamburger.
Oh my
Carol.
gosh.
All right. You know what's really fancy, Scarlett? Pumpkin spice lattes.
Okay, I'm out of all these conversations.
Hold on,
right now.
it's mid to
Yeah.
late July. It's way too early to be talking about that.
Apparently, that people are they're coming back to the menus in August 26th.
Too early.
August 26th, just in time for what?
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Back to school. Back to school pumpkin
Back
to school.
spice latte.
Is it an iced pumpkin
Because
spice
you know,
latte?
in the dog days of August, nothing hits the spot than a hot, steaming pumpkin
It'll be
spice
right next to the
latte.
Halloween decoration.
Yeah.
I bet you could find an iced one.
Yeah, sure.
It's too early. It's too
Or
early.
not.
Aren't you glad we're all back? Okay.
Might as well be Christmas.
All right, that's a wrap. Our cross-platform, we got to run. Cross-platform, radio, TV, YouTube, Bloomberg Originals.
Are you sure you're back? Carol's back. He's back.
I don't know where I am.
She attested she's back.
All right, those guys are continuing on TV. We're going to continue here on radio, and we will see you again, same time, same place tomorrow.